Okay. Would like to call to order the October 19th meeting of the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners. Welcome. It's good to have so many people with us tonight. I would remind everybody to please turn off your mobile devices or silence them as we go forward today. This meeting will be televised, and I think it is being televised live tonight, and then will be televised Sunday through Saturday at 1 p.m. and Sunday through Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., as well as Thursday and Friday at 6:30. So if there are things, if you want to share that with folks, we would certainly appreciate it. We are pleased to have with us tonight for the presentation of our colors, the Air Force Junior ROTC from Central Cabarrus High School. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're very pleased to have with us tonight Reverend Butch Clay, Associate Pastor at Cabarrus Christian Fellowship, for our invocation.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for this evening, and Lord, we thank you for the colors that were presented and for the nation for which they represent. Lord, we pray you keep us ever mindful that we are a nation that's raised up by your power and sustained by your grace, and may your blessing always flow upon the United States. I ask you now to impart your wisdom upon the Board of Commissioners as they govern those that have elected them, and may every decision they make life better for the people of Cabarrus County. May every decision be guided by your grace, your righteousness, and your love for us. And we thank you for these things in the matchless name of Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Clay. We appreciate you being with us tonight. We'd like to recognize the members of the Central Cabarrus Air Force Junior ROTC that presented our colors tonight. If you gentlemen will come forward, Commissioner Honeycutt will have a county pin for you. She'll be on my right to your left. And if you'll just come to the microphone and introduce yourselves and tell us a little something about you, where you go to school, and etc.
Hi, my name is Marquise. I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant Marquise Still. I go to Central Cabarrus High School, and after high school, I plan on joining the Army.
Thank you.
Cadet First Lieutenant Cortez Steele. I'm a senior, and I plan on going to the U.S. Army when I graduate.
Thank you.
My name is Second Lieutenant Paul Lacarta, and I'm in 11th grade, and I plan to go to U.S. Marine Corps after high school.
Thank you.
My name is Cadet Captain Escobar East. I'm a senior in Central Cabarrus High School, and after I graduate, I plan on enlisting in the Army.
Thank you.
My name is Cadet Amari Jones. I plan on going to the Army, and I'm a senior.
Thank you. We appreciate all of you being with us tonight. The first item tonight is the approval or correction of the minutes, and I think you all have copies in your agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the approval of our agenda, and I would entertain a motion that we approve the agenda, including the changes to the agenda on page 160.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda with the changes.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next up is our recognition and presentations. First up is Londa Strong, and I think Mally Plowman also, to recognize our senior games participants.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All of us from the senior games of Cabarrus County are so excited about the support that we have gotten from these commissioners. We really appreciate the wonderful cupcakes and the cards, and we're so glad to have such a positive group of commissioners. It seems like your attitude is, well, how can we make that better? And we really appreciate that. I would like to thank you also for including and supporting every one of the Cabarrus County citizens, from the children to the children at heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate those kind comments, and we are certainly proud of what our seniors have accomplished in the senior games. And I want to just to read out some of the medalists, and if you're here, if you would please stand. In basketball shooting, bronze, we have Mary Heron and Flo Kendall. In billiards, in gold, Carol Hawks, Eubon Moore. In silver, we have Mary Caudle, Margaret Cleveland. In bronze, Martha Stacy. It's great to have all y'all with us tonight. In Bocce, we have in bronze, Londa Strong and Richard Tarleton. Great. Bocce, I'm mispronouncing all this stuff. Just work with me. I'm open to suggestions. In bowling singles, in gold, Jeff Heggie, Jennifer Skinner, and in bronze, Darren Hussey. And in bowling mixed doubles, in gold, Jeff Heggie and Jennifer Skinner. You were in both events. In the cheerleader showcase, gold, the Cabarrus County Sparks, Shirley Brewer, Anita Helms, Pat Martin, Mally Plowman, Becky Thompson, Mary Watts, and Nettie Wills. And these gals, I think I'm correct, are the state champions. Congratulations, we're proud of you. In the discus throw, in gold, Tony Swick. Great, good to have you here. In golf, in silver, H.L. Clay. In bronze, Charles DeLula. And I probably got that one wrong, too. That was close. Close? Okay. In horseshoes and gold, Carolyn Stubbs. All right. In silver, Flo Kendall. And bronze, Jerry Owen. In the running long jump, in silver, Tony Swick. And we're hearing a lot of these names over. These people are involved. In shot put, in gold, Tony Swick. And in standing long jump, in gold, Tony Swick.
Transcript from New Jersey, the best ever in retirement.
Great. Well, thank you. We're glad to have you. Please join me in congratulating all our winners. I think this is quite a testament to the seniors that we have in Cabarrus County, and we appreciate what the programming that we're able to provide, and it doesn't work unless you folks are involved in it. So thank you very much. Next on our agenda is before we leave that, I wanted to mention also here in Cabarrus County we hosted the 2015 North Carolina Senior Games State Finals Pickleball Tournament this past week. And so it was an educational process for me. I've heard a lot about pickleball, but it was my first opportunity to go over to Carolina Courts, which hosted them here in downtown Concord, and watch some of the games. It looked like an awful lot of fun. We're very proud of Londa Strong and the entire Active Living and Parks Department. They had their staff and a lot of volunteers that worked with that effort, as well as a lot of you volunteers also. They put on a great reception one evening last week for those participants here in the Governmental Center. I think Susan Donaldson was very, very instrumental in making all that work well. We had involvement from Concord, Kannapolis, and the Harrisburg Parks and Recreation Department. The Cabarrus Convention and Visitors Bureau was involved in coordinating that. I think, if I remember correctly, about 346 people participating in those games. So these were people from all over the state. They spent nights in hotels, both up at exit 60 and exit 49, all around Cabarrus County. They were here for most of them for a couple of days, and they shopped in our shops and ate in our restaurants, and it was quite an economic boost to Cabarrus County. And a lot of collaboration going on with a lot of different folks here in Cabarrus County to make that successful. So kudos to all of you, and thank you for what you do. We're very, very proud when we can bring people into Cabarrus County and show it off. And the conversations that I had with those folks when I talked to them, they were very complimentary of the experience that they had here. So we're very proud of that. Next item on our agenda is our Veterans Day proclamation. If I can get to it. And we present this proclamation, and I will read it very quickly. Veterans Day 2015, whereas America was founded on the principles of liberty, opportunity, and justice for all, and whereas America has called on her men and women in uniform to protect our national security, to preserve our rights and freedoms, and to keep our democracy safe, and whereas through their steadfast defense of America's ideals, our service members have ensured our country still stands strong, our founding principles still shine, and nations around the world know the blessings of freedom. And whereas on Veterans Day, November 15th, 2015, we recognize the men and women of our armed forces who valiantly defended these values throughout our nation's history. And whereas we also remember and pay tribute to the American Armed Forces whose courage and sacrifice secures our freedom and keeps the peace and defends our values around the world. Now therefore, the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim November 11, 2015 as National Veterans Day and call upon our citizens to always remember and honor our veterans and those who continue to serve this country so willingly to preserve the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy for all, adopted this 19th day of October 2015. And so, Commissioners, do I hear a motion that we adopt our Veterans Day proclamation?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no, and that motion passes. And that is certainly a pleasure to be able to pass that proclamation and read it here tonight. Next item on our agenda is Planning and Development Weatherization Day proclamation. Weatherization Day 2015 proclamation. Whereas October is National Energy Awareness Month and October 30 is designated as National Weatherization Day, and whereas the County of Cabarrus has a long-standing commitment to conserve its resources and to help low-income households through its Weatherization Assistance Program, and whereas the state of North Carolina has administered the Weatherization Assistance Program since its inception in 1976, providing a variety of state and federal resources through numerous community action agencies, housing authorities, and departments of local government that serve people in every county in the state. And whereas it is important to recognize the importance of those programs that ensure that all residents, especially those living at or below the federal poverty level, have the opportunity to live in energy-efficient, healthy, safe, and comfortable homes as provided for by the Weatherization Assistance Program. Now, therefore, I, Stephen Morris, Chairman of Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim October 30th, 2015 as Weatherization Day in the County of Cabarrus, and I urge all citizens to join me in this observance. Commissioners, do I hear a motion to approve this proclamation? Okay, have a motion. Do I hear a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next item is a proclamation regarding World Pancreatic Cancer Day 2015. Whereas in 2015, an estimated 48,960 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States, and 40,560 will die from the disease. And whereas pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers, is currently the fourth leading cause of cancer death in the United States, and is projected to become the second by 2020. And whereas pancreatic cancer is the only major cancer with a 5-year relative survival rate in the single digits, or at just 7%. And whereas when symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is generally late stage, and 73% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first year of their diagnosis, while 93% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. And whereas approximately 1,200 deaths will occur in North Carolina in 2015, and whereas pancreatic cancer is the 7th most common cause of cancer-related death in men and women across the world, and whereas there will be an estimated 367,000 new pancreatic cancer cases diagnosed globally in 2015, and whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of Cabarrus County are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments. Therefore, be it resolved that the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners proclaims November 13th as World Pancreatic Cancer Day in Cabarrus County. Do I hear a motion to approve this proclamation? Okay, do I
I'd
hear?
like to second that and make a comment as well.
Absolutely.
I do have a relationship of some sort with Wake Forest Baptist Hospital. I'm on their Board of Visitors, and Wake Forest is one of the leading institutions in the country in the study and research of pancreatic and kidney cancers. And so anything we can do in the future, or you have an opportunity to support Wake Forest Baptist Hospital, that's a good way to do it.
Great, thank you. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no, and that motion passes. Next item on our agenda is informal public comments, and I do not have any yellow cards tonight, but if there is anybody that would like to speak, we would welcome you. Yes, sir.
Chairman, do you mind if us seniors excuse ourselves from the end of the meeting? We don't want to miss our bedtime.
Well, I find it extremely difficult that you would not want to stay for this very entertaining and informational meeting. But yes, I do understand, and we appreciate you being with us tonight. And
Mr. Chairman, does that apply to me too? Can I go?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And congratulations again. You make us proud. Okay, we have no items in old business tonight. The next item is our consent agenda, and of course you have I'll have that in front of you, which are issues we have previously discussed. Do I hear a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. And we move on to new business. First item on our agenda is from Department of Human Services, Transportation, fiscal year 17, 5311 Community Transportation Grant. And we will have a public hearing on that. And as quick as I can. Okay, so at this time, I will call the public hearing to order. And is there anybody here that would like to speak regarding the fiscal year 5311 Community Transportation Grant? Okay. I will go ahead and, while we still have the public hearing open, introduce Bob Bushy, who is here from the Transportation Department, and let him say a few words about this.
Thank you, Commissioners. Our FY17 5311 grant has two portions. We have the capital portion, which this year we're asking for 5 replacement vehicles. Total cost of $290,000. That requires a 10% local match of $29,000. And then we also have the administrative portion of that grant. This year that amount is $272,000 with a local match of 15% or $40,800. I'll answer any questions.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Bushy? Of course, we did talk about this at our work session a couple weeks ago also.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else that wishes to speak regarding this grant? If not, I will close the public hearing. Do we need to vote on this?
Yes, you have to accept it.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve this, to accept the fiscal year 17 5311 Community Transportation Grant and related resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next item on our agenda is also a transportation issue. This is regarding the Rural Operating Assistance Program, more commonly referred to as ROPE. And Mr. Bushy, would you like to say a few words about that before we open the public hearing?
Thank you. This is actually a FY16 grant for the ROPE. This year, we are getting $191,578. These funds cover elderly and disabled transportation, employment transportation, and rural general public transportation. There is no local match for this grant other than 10% for the RGP, which we make up for in our fares.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bushy? If not, I'll open the public hearing. Is there anybody here that would like to speak in regards to the Rural Operating Assistance Program grant? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion to accept the fiscal year 16 ROPE grant award and adopt the fiscal year 16 certified statement that is attached.
I'll move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next item on our agenda is another public hearing, and this will be the presentation of the schedule of values for the 2016 revaluation. And did Mr. Mitchum, did you want to say anything about that? Okay. Okay, very good. And of course, we discussed this at our agenda work session also. So I will open the public hearing on the schedule of values for the 2016 revaluation. Is there anybody that would like to speak regarding this matter? Yes, ma'am. If you could tell us if you step up to the microphone here so that we can hear you and they can hear you on television, and if you just say your name and address.
I'm Paula Marconic at 3908 Balmoral Avenue in Harrisburg, North Carolina. And I came thinking I would find information on how the evaluations are done here in the county. And obviously have to attend something else to find that out.
Well, certainly anybody from our assessor's office will be more than happy to meet with you, either here tonight. Afterwards, we have two people from that office here, or set up an appointment with them. I think the public hearing that we're having tonight is the schedule of values, which just talks about the technical procedure as to how they determine that, but
Okay.
they would be more than happy to answer your questions.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, we thank you for being with us tonight. Okay. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. And commissioners, let's see, do we need a vote on this one? Not tonight. Very good.
Mr. Chairman, I wanted to make a comment just real quickly before we move on to the next item there, and that is reference to these public hearings.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to understand that our board clerk, she publishes these notices of a public hearing being held at a certain time, certain date, and all that. And I believe it's the Independent Tribune where that's publicized. So I don't want people to think that we just brought this up tonight and nobody had a chance to understand that they were invited to come and speak. And so it was publicized and all of that for all of these. And if anyone wanted to come speak, that notice would have been sufficient to let them know they could.
It's not in the Tribune, it's on the website.
It's on the website. Yeah, that's where it's at, on the website. So when you go to Cabarrus County, I guess it's cabarruscounty.com, .gov, I think it's .gov, you would find that these public hearings are noticed there. in sufficient time to meet the requirements.
Well, actually, this public hearing was published in the Independent Tribune on October 7th. We've got a copy of it in our
double whammy on that one.
agenda here.
Yeah, and I just wanted
Yeah,
people
and
to...
as well as on the website also, and it is also discussed in our agenda work sessions that we'll be having that public hearing 2 weeks after that date.
Right. Well, I just wanted people to know so that they wouldn't think, like I said a while ago, they just voted, or had a public hearing, and we didn't know nothing about it. And so
Exactly.
we just want you to know that if you check the website periodically, you'll find that when we do have public hearings, and if you have interest or want to talk, then you should come for that.
Yes, very, very good information. Thank you. Okay. Next item on our agenda are appointments to boards and committees. First item is appointments to the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee. Applications have been received to serve on the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee from Ms. Lillian Brightman and Ms. Diane Carlson. Both applicants have been pre-qualified by the Regional Ombudsman and are eligible to be appointed for initial one-year terms. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to appoint these two individuals to the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee for one-year terms ending October 31st, 2016. Do I hear such a motion?
And make a motion to appoint, Lillian Brightman and Diane Carlson to the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee for one-year terms ending October 31st, 2016.
Okay, do I hear a second? Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next item is the Active Living and Parks Commission received resignations from Commission members Andy Coley, the Midland Area Representative, and John DeVito, the Mount Pleasant Area Representative. It is requested to formally remove them from the roster, thank them for their service, and seek appointments for their unexpired terms. Chris Furr has submitted an application and qualified as a Midland Area Representative, and applications are still being accepted for the Mount Pleasant area. So if any of you folks listening tonight are interested in that, we would like to hear from you. So I would entertain a motion to remove Andy Coley and John DeVito from the Active Living and Parks Commission roster and thank them for their service.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next, I would like to entertain a motion to appoint Chris Furr as a Midland Area Representative to the Active Living and Parks Commission to fill the unexpired term vacated by Andy Coley, expiring January 31st, 2016. Do I hear a motion? Okay.
I'll second.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next, we have a number of reports that are included for informational purposes. And at this time, I would entertain general comments from board members. Does anybody have anything they would like to report tonight? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to report something that was just sent to me today that I think we should all be very proud of, that comes from our Human Services Department, from Angela Moose, who handles adoptions in the county. And the goal for adoptions for 14-15 was 5, and they did 12 adoptions. And they have just received additional funding of $79,200 for this next year to go toward that, helping with that. And they have a goal of 4 for 15-16. They have a goal of 3 for 15-16, and they already have 4. So they're getting additional funding, and I don't know if Ben would like to add to that or clarify what I said. I just thought that was just great news, and I thought
It
people
is,
needed to
yes.
know that we are adopting youngsters.
Yes,
in
the
this
funds that
county.
we're receiving are what's called adoption incentive funds. The state sets a baseline for us for adoptions, and we've been very aggressive over the last 2 years to try to build back our adoption program, because that is one way we get kids from foster care to permanence is through adoptions. So last year was a big year. We have a dedicated social worker that basically does adoptions, and they work with our licensing people to get people licensed and map trained and everything, and it's been really just a great success to see these adoptions come through. So we've already exceeded our goal for this year, so we hopefully will get more money for adoption incentive in the coming year. That money does have to be reinvested into that program, and we use it for both outreach, education, training, and as well as potential services for adoption as well. So yes, thank you, Ms. Minette, for bringing that up.
Thank you. Excellent work. We appreciate everything you do.
Mr. Chairman, I wanted to make a comment in reference to our Economic Development Corporation. I find the report that they submitted to us this month for September that we had, that this month it said we received 15 new RFIs, which is requests for information, wanting to know about Cabarrus County and what we're doing here. And that brings us up to 36 current active projects. And one of the things that really impresses me so much about that is 25 of those 36 projects are manufacturing related, which is something that we need in Cabarrus County. We need manufacturing jobs. And so just because a request for information comes, that don't mean we're going to get it. But at least we got enough interest, though, that people are inquiring about Cabarrus County. And I appreciate so much what Economic Development's doing, and Patrick Coughlin's here. And Patrick, I know it's off the cuff, but if you want to say anything about economic development, what we're doing, you're welcome to come up. He's used to getting caught off the cuff.
Commissioner Hsu, thank you very much. When offered a microphone, I'm not often going to say no. I thank you very much for those comments. I would like to point out, too, that many of those projects on that list our office has generated. In other words, we didn't wait for a project to come to us through the regional partnership or through the state, and they certainly do. But a number of those projects, the majority of those projects were projects that we generated through our marketing, through one-on-one contacts with brokers, and through our outreach directly to some of our existing industries and businesses. So the request for information is a bit of a misnomer. What it really is us responding to either internal or external requests. And you'll be quite excited to see where our facts and figures are at the end of October because we're significantly higher than that right now. So thank you very much for your support. We could not do what we do without the county's support and without the support of the municipalities and without the support of the private sector as well. And I think we've laid out a very comprehensive strategic plan, and with the funding that you provide and the other sources provide, we've worked very hard at putting that plan into action. And I'm very excited about the future of Cabarrus County and bringing more manufacturing jobs here.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. And I didn't know he was here, by the way. I just looked back and seen him sitting there, so I figured it'd be a good time to call on him.
Well, it certainly, I think, is another excellent example of what we can accomplish with collaboration between the county and our municipalities and the private sector. I think with all of us working together and the great work that you do brings us greater success, and I'm certainly pleased and proud to talk about that. Does anybody else have anything they would like to discuss or report on? And of course, I mentioned the great pickleball reception earlier in my comments. There are a lot of really positive things going on in Cabarrus County. It was my pleasure yesterday to welcome the walkers at the annual crop walk for hunger, which creates a great deal of awareness of hunger issues in Cabarrus County, and those folks do an excellent job. I think the Canada Memorial YMCA will have a ribbon cutting or groundbreaking later this week for their Share the Harvest community farm, and if I tried to list all the different efforts and going on in the county trying to address hunger, it would take quite a while. But this is a great place to live, and it's great to see so many volunteers. And each time I have an opportunity to go to one of these events, you don't see the same people at all of them. You see, 100 people at the crop walk and several hundred people at the Alzheimer's walk, and there are just a lot of citizens in Cabarrus County that are very engaged and involved in making this a better place to live. So seeing no other comments at this time, we do have need of a closed session tonight, and so I would entertain a motion that we go into closed session to discuss economic development as authorized by North Carolina General Statutes 143-318 11A4. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. And so we are now in closed session. Thank you very much for our television audience and for those that joined us tonight. And we are recessed to closed session.